Hey guys, Phil here. Today's episode is a little bit different. Kenny and I took a road trip down to New York City to go see Fancy Food Show, and we took the chance to record in the car. So it's a little bit different. The sound is going to be a little bit more gritty. So hopefully this is interesting. As you're listening to this, if you have any questions for us, shoot us a note because we're on our way back from New York City. We're going to drive back from New York to Toronto on Tuesday morning. And think of this like an Ask Me Anything. So it doesn't need to be an industry question. It could be something you always wanted to know about Kenny and I. Anything that you want, shoot us a note and we will try and answer it. You can reach us at podcast@thiscommercelife.com. Thanks.
Welcome to This Commerce Life. We are an unscripted podcast dedicated to small businesses and entrepreneurs in the retail and consumer packaged goods space in Canada and the United States.
I am Phil Chang, co-host and co-founder.
And I'm Kenny Benucci, co-host and co-founder.
Yeah, because Jersey City is kind of gross, right? But the rest of it is not. The rest of it is really beautiful. Yeah. So I have a question for you. I'm recording, by the way.
Oh, are you recording?
Yeah. I just started recording again. I'm just doing a voice.
We're not filming.
We're not filming. We'll film some more.
I don't film.
But listen, if we eventually want to get to TV,
Yeah, but we don't know.
You gotta get.
I don't feel.
Listen. That's not the way this works, right? Whatever. When you're a celeb, you just do.
Oh, big shots now.
Yeah.
Just passing Jamestown on 86 Highway West.
We actually, so Corning is where Corningware, all the, so
Yeah.
like I don't know about other Asian families, but our Asian family, all our Asian relatives, like Corning is a big deal. So when I was
Every
small,
Italian home had Corningware. And remember
Right.
Corel?
yeah,
The dish
yeah,
line?
with the
Everybody
little
had the
blue
Corel dish.
flower.
Or green or yellow. And then that was the plates.
Yeah.
And then the blue flour was the casserole dishes.
That's right.
And then they went big and got the ribbed ones.
Yeah, that's right.
That's right. Styling.
Like the French white ribbed
Oh,
ones.
that's
and then,
styling.
that was the fancy.
Doesn't have Corningware in their house.
I don't know. Oh, I don't think anybody, but
Really?
I think I meant like everybody.
Well, everybody's got for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah, I think, but we used to stop here because Corning actually has, or it used to. I don't know if it still does, but Corning used to have a
factory outlet.
factory
outlet
outlet.
or whatever.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
So can you see the factory off the
I
highway
have no idea actually.
Because we still don't know where we are, or I don't know where we are.
Well, we're in Corning.
Clearly.
But yeah, it's literally the middle of New York State, kind of.
Interesting.
So, like, the middle of New York State has a bunch of provincial parks in it, and then Corning, Rochester. No, we passed Rochester already. But
Oh, we've passed Rochester.
yeah, I'm pretty sure we passed Rochester. We're just in the middle, because we're in the middle.
I honestly have no clue.
So if Kenny doesn't make it, it's because I've dropped him somewhere. Probably.
Bath and Hammondsport. So we got lost Bath and Hammondsport.
Yeah, somewhere between Corning and Binghamton.
Yeah, by Wilkins RV.
That is,
Wilkins has got a lot of RVs.
we're retail guys. That's an industry that both of us kind of eye, but I don't know anything about.
I don't know anything. It'd be kind of cool though to have a small
RV
and just run across the country, like both countries. Seriously, just start on one and then kind of zip up and
You
down.
and me both.
Well,
But
I don't
what would
think
Amelia
Amelia-
say?
I don't think
Yeah, I didn't think so.
Kathy will?
Yeah, no.
No, I don't think Amelia will.
No, Kathy just laughs at me.
Yeah, I don't think Amelia will either. I'll go with you.
Mm-hmm.
We'll do a podcast across the state. And look at places we have no idea where we are.
Okay, so I have a question for you. What? Because we're on a road trip, these are interesting places to ask these questions. What
are your? We'll start easy because I don't have other questions. I have some.
Am I gonna have answers to these though?
I don't know. So what are your favorite brands at the moment?
My favorite brands.
Mm-hmm.
Shit, really?
Yeah. Come on, I thought that this would be easy. No?
No. Huh. I mean, favorite brands I use like regularly, or you want to like if it's
I don't care.
cool? Like favorite brand I use, like I always love Nature's Path. I use that regularly.
Okay.
Right? I love the cereals because I can eat
Okay.
cereal 12 times a day.
Yeah.
Other brands. You know, it's hard for me because I do so much of my own cooking. Like it's vegetables and
No, but
meats.
it
I'm
could
trying to
be
think
anything.
what I would use.
Could be clothing companies. Could be.
Oh, I just like food.
That's all you
Well,
default to food.
Oh, right away. What the hell do I care about clothing? I wear t-shirts.
You're hilarious.
Like, they're pretty book.
You are hilarious.
I like Corvette. If we're gonna go there,
Yeah.
I love Vets.
Vets.
I've always liked that brand.
Okay.
Right? I like that one. Well, what about you? What's your favorite brand? Or brands?
I go to food too. So I think favorite brands right now.
See, not that easy.
No, I've got a bunch. So Poco.
Oh, I like
So Sasha and our friend Sasha,
Sasha.
Poco, still a favorite.
Yeah.
Like since we met him, right? I've been
No,
eating
just,
Poco.
you know what? I just like that
And,
brand. I really like him too.
But I
And
really
it's
like
such a
the
good
snacks. I really like the snacks.
I give you that one too.
And then, like, so when I go on road trip, like, so I was in San Francisco last weekend, and what went with me was Poco chips and made real.
Okay.
So I always get Sheena and Andrew's company wrong. Made local.
Yeah. It's okay.
Made with local. Fuck.
I knew you were trying to say.
Sheena and Andrew Russell
Yes.
and the goodness that they do.
Yeah.
Are like super high on my list. So like snack foods because we're on a road trip. So snack foods are really high. I know we were just munching on Bugles, but that's not a reflection on you, Sasha. It just
There's no Poco in Dansville.
Yeah. Sasha, get on that. There's no
Yeah.
Poco in Dansville. Other favorite brands, weirdly enough, so Vessi is a favorite brand, like the waterproof shoes.
Yeah.
I like those guys.
Yeah.
It might be an old thing. I don't know. All the kids laugh at me.
I don't think those are popular anymore. Or not
Vessies?
popular. I don't think they're like the Rockstar thing they were like a year and a half ago.
Oh, I don't care about that.
I know
I just hate wet socks. Actually, really, really, really. Like there are very few things I hate more in life than wet socks. Yeah. Like that whole feeling. Like I don't mind if I'm barefoot and wet, but wet socks, they just suck, right? Like,
Yeah. Same food. You know what I really because I'll do it with stuff we have with. I like Partana.
What's Partana?
Partana is the olive oil from Sicily, the Asaro.
Okay.
It's just a package. I still love that packaging. It's like so old school Italian look.
Yeah.
I love that packaging. And it's a nice oil. I like that one. You know what I like too is the zucchini that we just brought in, the pasta.
Yeah, I haven't tried it yet.
It's really nice.
Yeah.
It's all Italian wheat.
Okay.
Like where a lot of the other ones use a lot of our wheat from Canada, and some wheats from Italy. This is all Italian wheat from the Abruzzo region. It's really nice. That's a nice brand.
So that's interesting too, because I don't think, like, when you talk about nice olive oils, I have no idea what a nice olive oil is. Like, so I understand the extra virgin olive oil. I understand, like, olive oils are blended, like, a lot of them are, right? Like,
Yeah.
but I understand that stuff, but I don't think I understand what I'm tasting that makes me go.
I think it depends on what you like too. Like
You know.
some of them have like I think I like the pepper feel on the back end. It's like if you sip it, I like it. You know, you want it to coat your mouth, it's oil, not greasily but nicely. And when it's nice to have a nice little pepper on the back end.
Okay.
So you get a little bit of the throat burn.
Yep.
For lack of a better way.
Okay.
Right. And I love the smell. I like the smell.
That's a
like
good
an
olive oil, or
to me, it's a good olive oil.
okay.
right? That's what I like. Like I don't mind a stronger. I don't want a benign oil. If I want a benign oil, I won't use olive.
Yeah, you just
Then I
use
can
a vegetable
use anything,
oil,
right? A vegetable oil,
whatever.
Or I'll use a rice bran
Grapeseed
oil
or
or rapeseed. That's.
yeah.
But if I want
That
to
I
have an olive
understand.
oil, I want the taste,
Right.
right? And we go through so much of it in our household. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, we do. We use it for a lot of
I use
things.
it for everything.
Yeah.
I love olive oil.
Yeah.
But those are two fun brands. I like those two. Rusticella's a nice brand if you want a nice pasta.
Rusticella is kind of cool. I like
That's nice.
Rusticella.
That's a really good pasta too.
Yeah. I guess other things, like, weirdly, I'm also, like, I love bags. Is that weird? Like, I like the functionality of bags. And
I like.
kind of
I don't think I'd go. I don't. The brand isn't important to me in the bag. I like bags too. I like satchels. I like carry things.
Functional bags that look really nice.
Yeah, I just don't know if I
Yeah.
gravitate to a brand on that as much as I just like
Yeah.
the functionality of
Yeah.
the actual bag.
And then I'm shocked at how expensive bags are. Like, I'm shocked at how we've taken, a basic concept backpack and turned it into, like, I was looking at, like, there's a company called Peak Design that does some really amazing, like, camera bags, and, like, their DNA is a camera company, but their bags are, like, $300.
That's a lot of money.
And I kind of, like, Belroy is another one that does $300 bags, and I don't quite understand.
So I don't understand a lot of things. Yeti is nice. You've seen how much their coolers are?
Yeah. I don't. I think again, it's one of these.
$400 for like just an old school regular size.
Yeah,
cooler.
I grew up on Igloo, right? So I
or
don't know.
Coleman.
Yeah, Coleman.
And
or
I don't think those are cheap anymore either. But you get a cooler for $80 to $100. These things are $400.
Yeah, like I have a. So transparently, I have a limited edition Coleman stainless steel. But it's because I knew a guy who worked there, and I did some work for him, right? And he was like, "Listen, I can't really pay you, but I can trade you for merch." And I was like, "Bring it on! Like I'm good, right? I'm good, right?" So, but
how did Yeti become so popular?
I don't know.
Was it an influencer? Or was it? I mean, they make the design is
they make nice stuff. Yeah,
it is well made. Yeah. There's no doubt. I love their models.
Yeah.
I mean, I can get it to some degree.
Yeah.
But like, what the hell? Where do they come from?
No, I don't know. I don't know what their origin story is. I do think that they have a lot of influencers. They do a lot of advertising. And
I don't ever see it because I'm not probably in those meetings where they would be. But I just never understood. Like, to me, they just sort of came out of nowhere.
But certainly
everybody wants their stuff.
But certainly they do far more advertising than like an Igloo or a Coleman.
Those guys do any advertising.
Yeah, and then Coleman's just, they're kind of this behemoth company, right? Like, because Coleman is part of the same group as Sunbeam and all those guys. So I don't know that they got other things to do, I think. So. I mean, Coleman's got tents, and like it's just
Coleman's got everything.
They've got everything, right? So Igloo, I think, only does refrigeration sort of stuff, right? Like insulation, refrigeration sort of stuff.
They're owned by someone like Coleman.
Maybe
just an off-brand.
Maybe, yeah.
I have no idea.
Yeah. I don't know. Interesting.
I like Geox.
They're cool. Shoes are cool.
I like shoes.
Yeah.
There you go. I don't know what the hell we just talked about.
And then if you ever had to work for a company and not for yourself again, where would you go?
I had to work for a company. I would go back into buying. I would go buy for companies again. But I'm trying to think. It doesn't even have to be retail. You know what I've said before? Like when I loved talking to Righteous Gelatos, James, right?
I had him on the brain. I won't lie.
You know what?
I think I got a little crush on James.
You know what? I think I got a man crush on him too.
Yeah.
I mean, that guy. I was telling somebody. I think I was telling Amanda.
Amanda Kenny is doing work with Gelato.
Right. So we were talking at the BC Food Bev after the event.
Yeah.
And she was saying something about James, and I said, you know, man, I said, I shit you not, I'd go work for that guy, I think, in a heartbeat, just because I loved his attitude.
Yeah.
All that. You know what it reminds me of too? Like if someone close to him is Fardad. I'd go work for Fardad. He probably wouldn't want to work with me, but I'd go work with him.
I don't think I know enough about Fard, but Fardad seems
I
like
love
a really
Fardad.
good guy, right?
Oh, Fardad's awesome. I would do that. Yeah.
So we're talking about Fardad Moirier? I can't say his last
You
name.
stumble through it.
Thanks.
I'll just say I think the English way is Moriarty.
Moirier.
And we never get it right. It's not a complicated name. But
Did you just make fun of me and you just hacked up the name?
Not because I hack up every name. Doesn't
I
matter.
see.
I figured set the bar a little higher.
Anyway,
like something like that, because I like him. I like the family. I like what they're trying to do.
so Fardad runs Parisa.
Yeah.
But yeah, he does seem really cool. I don't know Fardad that well, but they had some major milestones, right? They hit 100 years
No,
this year? No. 80?
No.
50?
No. You pulling those out of your ass. Jesus.
Okay, they celebrated a milestone.
I think it was
40. Okay.
I think it was 40.
Fardad, if you hear this, I realize that
Honestly.
I probably jeopardized my chances of working with you.
No, but I think with a lot of those guys, I just like what they're doing. I would,
Yeah.
you know, like I think I could go. I think I could do. I would work with Arjun. I like, because I've always liked Nature's Path. I like that. I think that would be kind of fun.
Yeah.
But I think I would like to go back into. I would go back into the buying thing. Like I wouldn't want to do retail anymore, but I think I would do some buying for supply side.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I could see that.
I mean, I could do it like even, you know, I could do it with Liberato because I mean I can't get rid of Keith. I love Keith.
Keith is amazing.
But I like getting involved in that shit. I like I like the picking of the products.
The hustle and
just the
the
fun of it, right?
chance to be able to close an interesting deal or something.
Well, I think even just to sort of like I don't know, like build a portfolio of what it's going to represent. Like, how does it make all sense together?
Yep.
Right? Like, what products should you have so that when you go in to a store buyer or a buyer at an office level is, you know, this is who we are. This is sort of what we represent. And if you were to take us on, we would cover, here we give you solutions in all these aisles.
Yeah.
Not the whole store.
Yeah.
But in a bunch of these aisles, and this is what it would be. And this is why I think you would keep us, get rid of them, keep them because they would complement us and we would complement, like, you know, this is how it help you grow your basket. That's what salespeople should be doing anyway.
Yep.
All our salespeople, the ones we work, I always tell them, just you need to take shit off a buyer's plate and you need to go in helping them grow the category you're in. It's not always, it's not you.
Yeah.
I mean, you need to grow, obviously, but it's how do you grow within that category.
Yeah.
What would you do? Would you go back? Or you like teaching now?
I like teaching, but I was watching. So, like, to date this podcast, we're driving down to a fancy food show in New York City. So it's like June 24th, right? But we got to spend some time with Lindsay at CHFA.
That would be cool.
And, you know, like I watch what Lindsay and Aaron and their teams do, and I feel like there is, like, they represent a new world value to brands and retailers.
Yeah.
And I think that's really cool. Like, I wouldn't mind, you know, what Elisa does and James.
I kind of like, I was saying,
at
like,
BC
I could do
Food
BC
and
Food and Bev too. Like, I I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't be good with the government shit because I just get angry.
But
I still love that whole. I like the fact they're trying to do shit and they're trying to, you know, stitch these processors and producers and brands and retailers all together to make a viable community, a viable group of businesses.
Yeah.
That's a good one too. I think. Because it's actually important what they're doing too.
I think I'm not smart enough to help them solve this governmental thing, but I think it's highly critical that we get it right. So I think to be there and to be part of their teams, so that they can, so we can support them doing what they do. I mean, this is why we love them
But I
too,
think that's
right?
why we work with them now, though, isn't it? Because if we didn't, it's not. I mean, I think because the stuff they're doing is important,
because this is the most.
and we're trying to help them out too, right?
This is the way that we can help them without actually getting involved, right?
Yeah, from the sidelines. So be an active participant as quasi-passive.
AKA the lazy ass man way to helping.
That's your terminology, not mine.
100%, that's what it is. But it's okay because we're doing what we do, right? We just we broadcast.
I just don't want to do all the heavy lifting. I just want to be there.
That's what I said the first time.
No,
and
you
then
said
you called me.
That sounded terrible. It's not heavy lifting. That sounds way nicer. That just sounds maybe tired, or maybe you got a sore arm. Not like you sitting on the couch eating Pringles.
I know.
Not there's anything wrong with that either.
Yeah, but I think I want to go because I do think that we are, whether it's like all this labeling and natural health crap going on with Health Canada to our regs and then simply inflation, right? And what's happening, like all of it is a government that doesn't understand, right? Like we have people who don't understand the industry, who don't understand the business of retail, right? Trying to govern retail. You kind of go, what are you doing, right? Like, why are we doing this, right? So
it's just that's because the game's not set up to sometimes. Maybe it's going to sound so cynical. It's not set up to fix anything. It's really a lot of times what they'll focus on is what gets you back in to office next time. And I don't think people go into it with malintent. I think most people go into things like this, and whether it's a non-profit government, whatever, is because you're trying to make a change. But I think the challenge is, I think once you're in, I think the wheel is kind of already rolling. And it's hard to either change a direction or change a speed. And you get caught in the same shit that you're trying to fix. Right? But I think that's why it's nice to see, like, younger people, well, like all the four we just mentioned between BC Food and CHFA, like, to do something different, like come with a new idea. And then they're also not politically motivated necessarily. It's not, there's nothing to get back into again. 3 years or 4 years, you're not. You are actually worried about a greater good, not just your constituents, and that's it. Per se.
I hear you.
I don't know. I feel for people that go into government because I just think you just get. I think you go in with the right intentions, and I think it just becomes.
Well, it's like
you do the
everything
best
else,
you can.
right? It's kind of like being a consultant, right? You go in, like to do what we do. No, I'm not tooting our horns, right? But to do what we do, we love doing it with the brands we love doing it. But we give away a lot because it's how we see the business evolving. Right? But there are 100% moments that, if we were different consultants, there'd be a lot of hours that we'd be billing for.
Oh my God.
Right? Like, but at some point you do go, listen, there's only so many things I can give away for free before I really do need to charge you some money, right? So, so I think as like elected officials, it's that too, right?
I think it is too.
It's this, like, I'm going to help you, but I still need to get, like, I got to be able to survive in order to help you survive, right? So,
but that's what you also get into. You stay potentially with brands or companies longer than you should, even though you know that you're probably going to have limited impact or limited success with them, so to speak, right? And then you become like ones you're criticizing, which they're only doing it for the money, and at that point you're looking at, well, I guess I was one of those in this situation, but hopefully a million others were not. But it's like, I guess it's a survival. That's
interesting.
I guess so. I mean, you always
Would you go? Would you go and try and get elected?
With how I behave? Are you fucking nuts? Who's gonna elect me?
No, come on.
Oh, come on. Seriously?
In today's age, you'd
No,
probably get
I'm
elected.
Way too.
What do you say that's more inflammatory than Pierre Poilievre?
Well, I don't think I'm that bad.
Right.
Like, not
So-
populism-wise. I think I just get angry because I just don't like when we just don't want to fix something. Like, fix it. I don't care. Like, it's not. I don't think you can do it if you're not going to. I don't know. I think
I'd
if
vote
you
for
went
you.
in, oh, you're just a friend. You're being a chooch. If you went in, how long are you going to last? You'd last one term. You know why? Because you'd end up pissing too many people
But
off.
it'd be the best fucking term ever.
Whatever. How much can you get done in 3 or 4 years? Right? That's the problem.
I'm just being a jerk. I totally agree with you.
Because that's
Yeah,
I think that's the fundamental problem.
Yeah.
You'd go in with all the attitude, piss and vinegar, and you really want to do things, and then you just get angry.
Yeah.
And then what would happen is potentially some of your constituents love you, but all your enemies would just go ape shit and make it just like you're a complete
Yeah.
train wreck.
Yeah.
And you'd be out of power anyway.
Yeah.
So what would you accomplish?
Yeah. You're not wrong.
Right?
You're not wrong.
And yet I think we need some of it. I think we need people to just say, this is stupid.
Yeah. Don't do it.
This is
I'm not doing it. I'm
why are
not
we
following
doing
the
this? This
norm.
makes no sense
Yeah,
to
yeah.
do.
Yeah.
And just don't do it.
Yeah.
And who cares if you piss off a bunch of lobbyists or
Whatever.
the special interest groups? If it's dumb, it's just dumb.
Yeah.
Like, do something else.
Yeah.
That guy would last me. Jesus. I'm sometimes lucky. I'm sometimes thinking, if they invite me back for a second lunch, I'm pretty impressed.
Yeah.
Did you do it? You think you could do government?
I don't know. I think I would wind up quitting in frustration.
I think you'd get frustrated.
I think I'd last longer than you.
Oh, I think you'd last longer than me too.
Yeah.
But I don't think
But I don't.
I don't know if that's a big deal or not.
No, I
so
don't
if I
think
last
so.
a month, you last 6 weeks.
Yeah.
I think good for you.
Yeah.
What are you gonna get a medal for that one? Ooh, 33% better. Oh, you killed it. Jane, you killed it. Yeah, I don't know. I don't have the patience for it. I'd want things just to get done,
Yeah.
and it would just frustrate the shit. It would, you know how women bug us about our conversations sometimes go on and go on,
Yeah.
and they can't
Yeah.
understand why
Yeah.
when we're talking with clients potentially.
Yeah.
It takes 14 conversations
Yeah.
to get it done. You think because it's almost like a government. You're trying to, walk through personalities and all that kind of stuff to get to an end.
That's actually a funny tangent, right? Because Kenny and I both have wives who are accountants, and the similarities are
Scary.
quite striking, right? Like sometimes Kathy. So my wife's name is Kathy, and Amelia is Kenny's wife, and sometimes like Kathy will say to me, "Are you guys still talking about that? Just do it already. Like, what's the problem here? Like, you guys have that done already, but you're still talking about it, right?" And I'll say to her, "Listen, it's the process. They've got to, like, sometimes they're avoiding work, but a lot of times they got to walk through. They got to understand it. They get their heads around it. If you suggest it too early in the concept process, then they won't get it.
No, and you got to plant the seed and water slowly, and it'll grow.
And if you cut over to Amelia right about now, Amelia's got that twisted, frustrated face
I can't
of
listen to
like,
us anymore.
yeah.
It's part of it, though, right? I mean,
We did a pretty cool team building session for a group that we were with at Kenny's house, and thankfully Amelia was away then. But she was gracious enough to let us use the house, but thankfully she was away, and then she, like, when she got back, so like all her questions were focused around, wait, so you're going to spend how many days with these guys? And you're going to do what together? And then you're going to eat together, you're going to eat again together, and then you're going to do more stuff. And like,
what are you going to get done? Like, what's
she
going to
was
happen?
ready to run away.
I told her we'll have a
Yeah.
lot of ideas on paper.
Yeah.
And a lot of cool things to talk about.
Yeah.
For another 8 or 9 or 10
Yeah.
meetings.
Yeah.
Like you can just see her just want to rip her hair out. But that's part of it, right?
Yeah.
See, and I think that's what happens in government, though. I think but now picture lobbyists who have, whether it's deep pockets or really strong industries,
Yep.
and they're really trying to protect themselves,
Yep.
in spite of everything else.
Yep.
And not everybody's wired that way, obviously.
Yeah.
But
if you're a lobbyist, I think
that's
you are.
I think you are. I think by definition is
it doesn't matter what your rationale is. How do I twist it around and get it?
Well, even the lunch I went to a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
That was around sort of potentially helping government define policy around food for life, whatever, right? I don't get too much detail, but even in our small group of people, you had some processors, some distributors, some retailers, some specific industries, and a lot of the conversations were focused around specifically the world they were in at that moment, and specifically just them, their industry. And you're thinking, that's important, because obviously that impacts you and your constituents, whoever they are, and that's important. But you're too specific. It's that's great, but I can see the sign.
Shopping mall.
Go shopping.
I'm retail film. I'm retail film. We're not going to go shopping.
Why don't let's get to New York. We'll shop in New York.
That's why they don't call you Retail Kenny. Come on, Retail Kenny.
This is driving thing. Let's go to New York and we'll figure it out there. We're going to stop at a strip mall. It's the same strip mall 17 times. It's like you just need one different store in this mall than the next 75 malls. Not one different store. Now, if you want to run through the town and we go look at the mom and pops, I'm all over it. A mall. Mamma mia, what's the matter?
Soaring capital of America. I'm sorry, I got totally distracted. I get distracted by retail though.
It's okay, I understand that though.
Yeah.
I totally forgot what we were talking about.
I do too.
Oh well, everybody expects that, so it's not that big a deal. Party City, have you never seen one of those? Petco, holy, that's a small guy.
I know. There's a local fair here.
Michael's, woo, never seen those before.
No, never.
Hence, people were driving past the mall.
Kenny, so cynical.
Oh, look at that. There's an outdoor, little fair.
Yeah, see?
That's
you see? Cool. If we stop, we'd be on a Ferris wheel right now.
I get sick. I don't like going circles.
Okay, what questions you have? Any curiosities? I feel like this is turning into an Ask Us Anything.
Who are you talking to, me and you?
Yeah.
Are you talking to the audience? You're just going to wait a couple weeks before the questions come in. You guys got anything for us?
No, listen, seriously. I think I'm going to put this up fairly quickly. Like, I think
you actually got to post this?
Yeah, I'm going to post this. Like, I think I'm going to put it up as soon as we get to...
there's no continuity in this thing.
No,
it bounced everywhere.
Listen, I'm going to put it up and people will tell us if we're crazy or not.
I think they're already doing that.
But I think because we're driving, so we're kind of focused on driving, right? So it's an interesting time to have conversations.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, because I'm not really thinking of anything. I'm just kind of looking around. I've never been here.
Yeah. And I also think, like, when we get on, we have guests, and then we're pretty focused on guests. So, like, it's a chance to...
Yeah, I guess so. You have a chance to talk just us.
Yeah.
I mean, so, laughing at the mall.
Yeah.
So that's two malls.
Yeah.
That we just passed.
Side by side.
What time is it right now?
It's almost 10 o'clock, I think.
So they've probably been open for half an hour to an hour.
Yeah.
There's nobody there.
Yeah.
Like, are people still shopping big malls? Like, I know in the States, I know they're struggling. I think we're struggling back home, too.
Well, I think we know that about America. They have too many malls.
Well, they got too much retail, right?
Yeah, they got too many malls, period. And then I do think... I don't think they're shopping them nearly as much, and I think things are just really expensive right now.
So you know why? It's the same stores in the same malls. Like, what changes?
Not a whole lot. Yeah.
You know, I mean, honestly, I just looked at it and thought that could be that's the same mall in any town in Canada or the States.
Yep.
Like, there's no originality in retail. Like, every one of those stores were passing by a strip mall.
Yeah.
And it's almost like all the same people
Yeah, it just got replicated, right?
over and over
Repeated.
and over.
But you do see a lot of vacant shops, right? I think it's hard too. Like when you've got commuter traffic, like these places, like we're in between, we're near Ithaca, and so it's not that populated here to begin with, you know, and so it's also really tough, right? Like this is actually what we feel, right? Is this whole idea of, you know, like having to drive everywhere. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I guess if you, I don't know.
No, but I'm with you, right? It's almost like how do you? I think that I don't know. Like I don't know if having a set of local shops down Main Street.
I don't know if anybody goes to Main Street much anymore.
Yeah.
I don't think they're going to the malls anymore.
Yeah.
We know, yes, people are going online, but we also know that's not. How much is that? Maybe 20%.
20 maybe.
So it's not like 100. You know what I mean? So what are people doing? I mean, are they just going to less destinations in general, or is it if the malls are mostly fashion? You think like that type of? There's not much.
There can be.
There's usually an anchor grocer.
Yeah.
There might be an anchor.
Yeah.
Sporting.
If it's a younger mall, you've got like an Aritzia that would definitely be an anchor, right? Like,
but are people then just? Look, clothing's got to be pretty high purchase online. I don't know the statistics.
No, not really. I think you still want to try stuff on, right? Especially if you're a teenager. The joy is in trying it on.
Yeah,
like you're gonna buy leggings and stuff like that online, but and like Shein and places like that, you're gonna buy some stuff, but
the malls don't seem busy. So
well, the strip malls here don't because their anchors are a lot older, right? Like you've got a TJ Maxx or like a Winners for us.
Yeah.
Winners, HomeSense, TJ Maxx, like those are.
They're skewing older.
Yeah, they're a lot like in urban centers. They're amazing because you go deal hunting in those, right, for furniture. But out here, like I don't know what you would.
I don't know either.
You know, but I do think like a clothes mall where you would get a Aritzia or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, like Square One for us, it's bonkers.
Busy.
It's bonkers actually. Like we won't go there on weekends because it's bonkers. Even the girls don't want to go there on weekends.
Seriously.
Believe it or not. So, you know.
It's weird.
Yeah.
Because I don't know. I mean, we went out the last couple weekends. I don't think we were shopping for anything. Amelia might have been shopping for something. I wasn't shopping for anything. I didn't care. But we went, and I told her, I said, have you not noticed this is like the third mall that we've been in over the last 2 weeks?
Where it's not that
the
busy.
same shit in every single one of them.
Yeah.
It's one is the same stores.
Yeah.
Two, it's the same product. There's no differentiation. There's not a lot of it. And I said, I don't know about you, what you're noticing, but I don't see us clamoring over people to get at anything. Like it's steady, I guess, but it's not.
Yeah.
Like all I kept doing is thinking, geez, I wonder what they're paying per square foot here.
Yeah.
Because I'm doing the math, kind of thinking, oh, shit, 4 people on.
Yeah.
You know, this is like 10,000 square feet.
Yep.
God, this must be costing a fortune. Yep. And then I'm looking at the till and thinking, wow, I think those things need to be busier because you're not bringing enough through to make this work.
Yeah, I think I don't know. It's going to be a problem. I mean, retail is boring right now for a lot.
I thought it's just me. I find it really, kind of humdrum.
Yeah.
Like nothing, that makes you just want to get out and go and spend.
Have we caught up on containers though? Like I think that's part of the problem too, right? Like you think
the container problem. I don't think the containers are the issue. I'm not convinced shipping or containers. I mean, shipping and containers
no
was
longer
always
an
the
issue.
issue.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's the issue that it was. I'm wondering sometimes if it's more is more inventory caution. Is that I can probably get it, but how much do I buy?
Yeah.
Like, what's the risk level now?
Yeah. But like, isn't what we have right now a reflection of what was bought almost 2 years ago?
Well, it shouldn't be. I mean, what you have right now should be stuff that, I mean, if it's between seasons, it shouldn't be stuff that's been here more than probably 4 to 6 months.
Right.
It shouldn't be going back that far.
No,
if it's going back that far, then it's a real problem.
But you shipped it or had it made for you 4 to 6 months ago,
right,
which means you really decided at least a year
probably
ago.
a year and a half ago, but
right.
you made decisions on top of that. It's the quantity and the variety I don't see, so I don't know.
But that's my point, right? I think is a year ago, if you were being conservative about what's happening, do you know what I mean?
But I guess my thing is a year and a half ago, were you worried about the upcoming? You and I might have been. We had talked about it.
Yeah.
But I'm wondering if people, because at that point, there wasn't much in the system.
Mm-hmm.
You would have thought, this is my thinking, you would have thought that if you're a buyer, you'd be thinking, shit,
buy,
we haven't had anything
buy.
in a couple of years because we've been short supply.
Light this thing up.
Yeah, we should set this off and let's go.
But a year
But
ago,
they didn't.
But a year ago, would you have known that you were really out of the mess?
Not necessarily, I guess.
So I guess I don't know what the answer is.
Right.
I'm just wondering, like from a buying pattern standpoint, you're going, I could light this up and take a chance that this stuff doesn't show or it gets shorted or it doesn't get made or the million reasons why.
I mean, it could be possible, but
so do I lean into what's solid and brown and beige and kind of boring but super reliable, right? Like.
Yeah, but I mean, now look what you got. Now we're all pissing and moaning because the stores are just.
I get it. But so
maybe you're right. Maybe that was a large part of it.
Because I think of like the holidays last year, and we saw all of. I don't know about Vancouver. In Toronto, we saw inflatable snowmen.
Yeah.
Everywhere, right?
And it's because we couldn't get any the year prior.
Right. And so one of the guys I knew at Canadian Tire said to me, "Yeah, that's because they were all stuck on a container."
Yeah. Last year.
In the middle of the ocean somewhere. And so we pushed the shit out of them, marketed the shit out of them because inflatable snowmen had to be the fashion of the season because otherwise we were going to get jammed with like tens of thousands of inflatable snowmen.
Exactly.
Right? And so I wonder if we're not quite out of...
You know what it is? I'm not, because I've been removed from buying for a few years. You could be right. You could be right.
Curious.
I mean, I'm not. I don't know. I guess what. Yeah, you could be right. I'm trying to think of it because I'm trying to think that all the discussions that we've had internally with the people I work with about buyers in the last while. Is hard to get a hold of, hard to get appointments, hard to get decisions, not necessarily buying as heavy, which is probably smart anyway. I think we used to carry a lot of inventory, so it's probably not the worst idea to lighten it up. But when you look at all of it, is how much does that play into it? Where, I mean, our buyers just risk adverse, our company's risk adverse.
Yeah, I think so. I also wonder, like to that. Like to what you're saying isn't the other half of that your risk adverse also, and you may not have the buy budget you had before, right?
Well, if times got tough and inflation's running and yada yada yada, we don't know where things are going to go. Like fear just kicks in, which means budgets get cut.
Yeah.
Potentially, if you have budgets, not everybody has buy budgets per se. There are companies that allow you to buy. What makes sense, you just buy.
Really?
Like you go, Rob, you never had buy budgets. I never had a budget.
Really?
Never.
Wait, is that because you just didn't follow the instructions, or really you didn't have a budget?
I mean, they could have that I wasn't. Well, I mean, that's really not fair to say. It's a little rude, but yes, possibly.
Come on, guy. You admit it. I think your London drugs people that listen to this podcast would say,
possibly.
Kenny's not really a rule follower.
Possibly.
Incidentally, if you're listening to this and you're a London Drugs, if you knew Kenny at London Drugs, feel free to send me a note.
Yeah, whatever.
You know, a yay or nay, Kenny the rule follower.
Anyway, I'm 99% sure there was nothing. Okay, or I didn't get the memo. There was no rule. So as long as you knew, that was the beauty of the company, because it was very entrepreneurial. It wasn't about 50,000 rules. It was about, if it made sense and you had an entrance and an exit plan, do it.
Do it.
Right? Because the more you think about it and the more time you waste fiddle farting around trying to make it make sense.
Yep.
Like, nothing's going to make 100% sense. If you got to a 75 or 80, then your probabilities are high. Go.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, don't bet the whole house on it.
Yeah.
But don't be a chicken shit either, right? You're going to go.
You can't really be a buyer and be a chicken shit, I don't think.
I don't know. I've seen a lot of chicken shit buyers. Lots.
Really?
Lots. Where it's buy the steady Eddie, the true, look at our grocery stores. That's not a reflection of the consumer.
Yeah. Yeah, okay, that's
right?
fair.
That's a reflection of the buyers.
That's fair. That's
right?
fair.
There's not a lot of, like, if you think of the small grocers that we've had on the show and that we've talked to. So let's say someone like, Ferrero's.
Yep.
Or Peter.
Yeah.
Right? RF and his crew.
Yep.
Right? And then I can name a bunch of little smaller other ones too. Think of those people. Most of those guys buy, it's obviously their money and they're doing their things, they're all independents.
Yep.
But they buy based on what their clientele wants.
Yep.
So I don't think those are as heavily, they're buyers, obviously, but they're smarter than maybe some corporate buyers. And maybe it's because it's less locations, which I still don't necessarily agree with. But anyway, they buy because they're consumers and they're sort of saying, no, this is what we want.
Right.
So what they're saying is, okay, you know what? We'll bring in some different things because we know you guys want it. We know you guys will try it, but are at least willing to try.
Yep.
Where I think large corporate ones, maybe because you're in all provinces and they're all, which you can control by distribution center and planogramming.
Yeah.
I guess it takes extra work and nobody wants to do that either. But, there's ways to.
Yeah, that's fair.
Maybe listen more to your consumer. I just don't know. Again, I'm out of that game. I do struggle trying to understand
why we make some of the choices.
Why we make some of the choices and why we can't seem to see these people as frequently as we did at one time.
Yep.
And we're out of COVID.
Hey guys, me again. Hopefully that episode was okay. Again, if you have any questions for us, anything at all, shoot us a note at podcast@thiscommercelife.com, or you can find us at This Commerce Life on Facebook or Instagram. But shoot us a note if you want to ask us anything. Think of it like an AMA style. Lastly, I hope this was okay, and I apologize for the abrupt ending. I think maybe our mics cut out at that point. We had a little bit more, but I think maybe we ran out of juice on the mics. We had recorded a whole bunch of things. So the conversation ends slightly abruptly, but anyway, I hope it was interesting. Again, you can shoot us feedback if you really hated it. You can shoot us that too. But thanks for listening, and we'll talk to you soon.